Dale, gurizada! Beleza? Estamos aqui trazendo mais um vídeo de Mass Effect. Enfrentamos esse boss aqui, né? Essa emboscada dos Geth. Agora vamos entrar na mina. Não vai ser tão difícil quanto foi o resto, mas é sempre bom tomar cuidado. Vamos descendo o corredor aqui. Ó, já deu um autosave. Agora que eu tinha salvo, né? Legal. Vamos explorando aqui. Opa! O radar já não está mais funcionando. Já tem uns Geth aqui. Ó, já está na hora de upar. Perfeito. Ah, sem muito mistério. Vai descendo, mira com calma, atira direitinho. E... bizarro, né? O que será que é esse campo de força aqui? Ah, não dá pra passar ainda. Beleza, vamos descer ali no elevador. Oba, já ganhei mais Medigel. Vamos usar mais First Aid e... aê! Obama tá protegendo essas cavernas, ele está mandando drones. Fiquem alertas.
Wonder what the R is looking for in here. Most Prothean ruins have nothing more than dead instrumentation.
Ah, tá procurando vestígios históricos, esse tipo de coisa, né? É isso que tem nessas ruínas. Lá. Ah, começou a aventura RPGística, né? O elevador que quebra.
Can you hear me out there? I'm trapped. I need help.
Tá, será que ela tá ouvindo a gente?
Are you okay? What happened to you?
Listen, this thing I'm in is a Prothean security device. I cannot move, so I need you to get me out of it, all right?
We just need to figure some way past this energy field.
It's a Prothean barrier curtain. I knew it would keep me safe from the Geth. When I turned it on, I must have hit something I wasn't supposed to. I was trapped in here. You must get me out, please.
Tá, não precisa de tanto desespero. Pode ficar tranquilo.
We'll find some way to help you.
There is a control in here that should deactivate this thing. You'll have to find some way past the barrier curtain. That's the tricky part. The defenses cannot be shut off from the outside. I don't know how you'll get in here. Be careful. There is a Krogan with the Geth. They have been trying different ways to get past the barrier.
Tem um Krogan, então vamos ficar de olho. É até meio fofo como ela é ingênua, assim, ela... Não, desculpa, eu apertei alguma coisa que eu não devia ter. Não, meus, não preciso se desculpar por isso. Já tá na merda aí, a gente vai dar um jeito de tirar. Tá. Ai, caralho. Por isso que eu gosto de Biotics. Sair empurrando a galera e... detonando. Você vai ver no Mass Effect 2 os poderes de Biotics são mais da hora ainda. E se mantém no 3. Bom, o Sniper me errou. Perfeito. Ver se tem alguma coisa interessante pra abrir. Legal que não tá marcado no mapa. O jogo te recompensa por explorar um pouco além do que tem no seu radar. aqui. Ah, eleca. Deu aquela travadinha marota. Perdi. Agora vou ter que botar mais Omnigel. Tá. Pra onde agora? Tá, por aqui eu não achei nada muito útil. Ah, olha aqui. Tem um laser que era usado nessa mina. A gente pode tentar detonar essa parede com esse laser. Ah, o joguinho de memória. Pelo menos esse aqui não tem tempo. Ah, boa, boa, boa. E tá aqui, abrimos o nosso caminho. Ó, já abriu uma cavidade perfeita que vem bem numa entrada. Ai, ai, ai. É muita zoeira mesmo, né? Chegamos nela.
Oh, how did you get in here? I didn't think there was any way past the barrier.
We blasted through with the mining laser.
Of course. Yes, that makes sense. Please, get me out of here before more Geth arrive. That button over there should shut down this containment field.
Wait, Commander. Can we trust her? Her mother's working with Saren.
I am not my mother. I don't know why Benezia joined Saren. I don't want anything to do with that Turian bastard.
If she was with Saren, the Geth wouldn't be trying to kill her.
Any idea how we get out of this place?
There is an elevator back in the center of the tower. At least I think it's an elevator. It should take us out of here. Come on! I still cannot believe all this. Why would the Geth come after me? Do you think Benezia's involved?
Saren's looking for the conduit. You're a Prothean expert. He probably wants you to help him find it.
The conduit? But I don't know...
What the hell was that?
These ruins are not stable. That mining laser must have triggered a seismic event. We have to hurry. The whole place is caving in.
Joker, get the Normandy airborne and lock in on my signal. On the double, mister.
Aye, aye, Commander. Secure and away. ETA 8 minutes.
He needs to move faster.
Bom, então a gente tem que fugir daqui o mais rápido possível. Oba, a mina tá desabando.
In case you didn't notice, this place is falling apart.
Exhilarating, isn't it? Thanks for getting rid of those energy fields for us. How'd the doctor?
Whatever it is you want, you are not getting it from me.
Is this really the time?
The atmosphere is perfect for our life and death struggle. Kill them. Spare the Asari if you can. If not, doesn't matter.
Ah, Krogans. Sempre muito inteligentes, assim, quando evitar um combate, né? Beleza, acabar com esses Geth Kill é moleza. Ai, ai, ai. Merda, 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 merda. Ah, capeta. Ah, vamos lá, vamos de novo. Já vou botar meu barrier logo de cara, porque vai ser foda isso aqui. Quase não tem cobertura nesse lugar. Pá. Cai aí, Kroger. Ah, acho que eu errei o poder. Beleza. Agora acho que vai. Ai. Atira nele porque tem fator regenerativo. Pronto, foi. Sobrou mais alguém? Sobrou. Aí, matemos.
Too close, Commander. 10 more seconds we would have been swimming in molten sulfur. The Normandy isn't equipped to land in exploding volcanoes. They tend to fry our sensors and melt our hull. Just for future reference.
We almost died out there, and your pilot is making jokes?
It's a coping mechanism. You'll get used to it.
I see. It must be a human thing. I don't have a lot of experience dealing with your species, Commander. But I am grateful to you. You saved my life back there, and not just from the volcano. Those Geth would have killed me or dragged me off to Saren.
What did Saren want with you? Do you know something about the conduit?
Only that it was somehow connected to the Prothean extinction. That is my real area of expertise. I have spent the past 50 years trying to figure out what happened to them.
50 anos de pesquisa, hein?
How old are you exactly?
I hate to admit it, but I am only 106.
Damn! I hope I look that good when I'm your age.
A century may seem like a long time to a short-lived species like yours, but among the Asari I am barely considered more than a child. That is why my research has not received the attention it deserves. Because of my youth, other Asari scholars tend to dismiss my theories on what happened to the Protheans.
I've got my own theory on why the Protheans disappeared.
With all due respect, Commander, I have heard every theory out there. The problem is finding evidence to support them. The Protheans left remarkably little behind. It is almost as if someone did not want the mystery solved. It is like someone came along after the Protheans were gone and cleansed the galaxy of clues. But here is the incredible part. According to my findings, the Protheans were not the first galactic civilization to mysteriously vanish. This cycle began long before them.
Ó, Shepard cientista, além de tudo. Ele tem sua própria teoria, você vai ver como vai complementar a pesquisa da Liara.
Where'd you come up with this theory? I thought there wasn't any evidence.
I have been working on this for 50 years. I have tracked down every scrap and shred of evidence. Eventually, subtle patterns start to emerge, patterns that hint at the truth. It is difficult to explain to someone else. I cannot point to one specific thing to prove my case. It is more a feeling derived from a half-century of dedicated research. But I know I'm right, and eventually I will be able to prove it. There were other civilizations before the Protheans. This cycle has repeated itself many times over.
What cycle? What are you talking about?
The galaxy is built on a cycle of extinction. Each time a great civilization rises up, it is suddenly and violently cast down. Only ruins survive. The Protheans rose up from a single world until their empire spanned the entire galaxy. Yet even they climbed to the top on the remains of those who came before. Their greatest achievements, the mass relays and the Citadel, are based on the technology of those who came before them. And then, like all the other forgotten civilizations throughout galactic history, the Protheans disappeared. I have dedicated my life to figuring out why.
They were wiped out by a race of sentient machines. The Reapers.
The Reapers? But I have never heard of. How do you know this? What evidence do you have?
There was a damaged Prothean beacon on Eden Prime. It burned a vision into my brain. I'm still trying to sort out what it all means.
Visions. Yes, that makes sense. The beacons were designed to transmit information directly into the mind of the user. Finding one that still works is extremely rare. No wonder the Geth attacked Eden Prime. The chance to acquire a working beacon, even a badly damaged one, is worth almost any risk. But the beacons were only programmed to interact with Prothean physiology. Whatever information you received would have been confused, unclear. I am amazed you were able to make sense of it at all. A lesser mind would have been utterly destroyed by the process. You must be remarkably strong-willed, Commander.
Okay, this isn't helping us find Saren or the conduit.
Of course, you're right. I am sorry, my scientific curiosity got the better of me. Unfortunately, I do not have any information that could help you find the conduit, or Saren.
Bom, mesmo assim, seja bem-vindo à equipe.
I don't know why Saren wanted you out of the picture, but I think we'll be a lot better off if we bring you along.
Thank you, Commander. Saren might come after me again. I cannot think of anywhere safer than here on your ship. And my knowledge of the Protheans might be useful later on.
And her biotics will come in handy when the fighting starts.
Good to have you on the team, Liara.
Thank you, Commander. I am very grateful. Oh, I am afraid I am feeling a bit lightheaded.
When was the last time you ate? Or slept? Dr. Chakwa should take a look at you.
It is probably just mental exhaustion, coupled with the shock of discovering the Protheans' true fate. I need some time to process all this. Still, it could not hurt to be examined by a medical professional. It will give me the chance to think things over. Are we finished here, Commander?
We can talk again after you've seen the doctor. The rest of you, dismissed.
Mission reports are filed, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Ah, é hora de falar com os politiqueiros. Vamos lá.
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
We've received your report, Commander. I understand Dr. Tassoni is on the Normandy.
I assume you're taking the necessary security precautions.
Liara's on our side. The Geth were trying to kill her.
Benezia would never allow Saren to kill her daughter.
Maybe she doesn't know.
Or maybe we don't know her. We never expected she could become a traitor.
At least the mission was a success.
Apart from the utter destruction of a major Prothean ruin. Was that really necessary, Shepard?
Puta que pariu, os caras nunca estão satisfeitos, né? Eu posso desligar na cara deles, não vou fazer isso não.
The Geth were crawling all over those ruins. We were lucky to make it out alive.
Of course, Commander. The mission must always take priority.
Good luck, Commander. Remember, we are all counting on you.
Se olhar essa equipe, o Turian parece que é o que mais detesta a gente. Ele deve ser muito amigo do Saren. A Asari, ela é neutra e o Thalarian geralmente confia na gente, né? Coisa interessante. Um certo padrão que tem nessas conversas. Opa, tem mais um bagulhinho aqui que eu não tinha explorado. Como esse vídeo está um pouco mais curto que o anterior, já que eu já fiz a missão, eu vou encher um pouco de linguiça aqui. É hora de conhecer melhor as pessoas que servem aqui na nossa equipe. Vamos conversar um pouco com os nossos colegas. É sempre interessante você conversar com eles de vez em quando para ver o que eles têm a dizer. Eles tem umas coisas interessantes. Ah, foda esse monte de loading. Fode o Mass Effect.
Anything you need, Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Dr. Tassoni. Seems like a sweet girl. Easy on the eyes. I mean, if you like the bookish sort.
Eu gosto das nerdinhas.
Just remember, Lieutenant, I saw you first.
Only by a few seconds, sir.
Não, você não tava na missão, babaca.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
Alenko, When it's just you and me, you can consider it off the record.
That's a generous attitude. Okay. I think there's something wrong with all this. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Seems like you beat the odds. How many didn't make it?
Out of 100, maybe 60 have no effect. 30 suffer adverse effects, little things like brain cancer. The other 10 show enough ability to augment with implants. Not always permanent, though. Not like the cancer. Next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero. I mean, how's a kid supposed to deal with that? A station at the edge of human space.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. But that's my own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner. Besides, I've got my past squared away.
Beleza, tivemos papinho amigável aqui com o Kaidan. Agora eu vou tentar falar com a Ashley. Aqui, ó, nesse pedaço tá a Ashley, o Garrus, o Rex, a Telly tá ali pra trás. Aqui tem o meu Quartermaster.
Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
Como eu disse, se você pegar aquelas licenças, quando sempre você entrar numa loja, se vê uma licença, compra, porque ele vai poder te vender mais itens.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Opa! Comprar mais Medigel. Esses itens únicos em geral valem a pena se comprar. Tá, eu vou comprar... Será que compra essa shotgun? Vamos comparar com a que eu tenho. Não, ela é pior. Essa armadura? Essa armadura é bem melhor. Eu tô meio frágil. Quem mais usa armadura leve? Só o Kaidan, né? Ah, não. Eu acho que a Liara, como ela é a Sari, ela usa armadura de humano. É que o corpo é quase igual. Então eu posso passar pra Liara depois. Tranquilo. Porque eu vou começar a usar armadura média mais pra frente. Então vamos lá. Ah, ó, dá pra você ficar mexendo nos inventários de todo mundo quando você tá fora da ação. Você tem que vir aqui embaixo. Vou falar com a Ash.
Commander, you have a minute to talk.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
Então, por causa dessa preocupação dela, muita gente fala que ela é racista, digamos. Especista, se quiser colocar. Mas não sei, eu acho ela... na verdade né? Mas eu acho ela bem intencionada até.
You don't trust their motives because they're not human.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies. We, humanity, I mean, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
Standing up for ourselves doesn't mean standing alone.
I don't think we should turn down allies. I just think we shouldn't bet everything on them staying allies. As noble as the Council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
I don't see that as inevitable.
Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
You sound like one of those Terra Firma party pamphlets, Chief.
Terra Firma is a pack of jackals. The founders had ideals. These days they just play off xenophobia and bigotry. I hope my reasons are more rational. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
Ah, você vê aquilo, ela tem pensamentos racistas? Tem, mas ela é bem intencionada até. Vamos perguntar um pouco, ver um pouco sobre o histórico dela.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
No, sir. Mainly I've been groundside, part of the surface garrison forces. I did get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary. You should be serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
You're lucky. I lost my family on Mindoir. Are you related to anyone I'd have heard of?
Couldn't say, Commander. I read about Mindoir. The Alliance screwed the pooch on that one. Should have had a bigger garrison. Is that why you're out here? To take the fight to the pirates?
I'm here to put hypervelocity rounds through the heads of bad guys.
Most satisfying part of the job, Commander.
Tá vendo? Nós somos parecidos. Nós temos nossos motivos para odiar alguns alienígenas, para querer chutar bundas ao redor da galáxia.
All right. I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're going to have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
Hora da safadeza, véi.
Would you kiss anyone I ordered you to?
That depends, sir. If you ordered me to kiss a superior officer, that would be a violation of the regs concerning fraternization. That would make it an illegal order. I'd be required to decline and relieve you of command. Sir.
Muito espertinha, hein?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least, I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, sir.
Ó, já até upei. Quem mais eu posso conversar? Garrus, meu amigão. Ó, mais uma entrada no Codex. Vou falar com Garrus.
Commander, nice work out there. I knew working with a Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this. And without C-Sec headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
Olha eu aqui incentivando o anarcocapitalismo na minha equipe. Que perigo.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
O Rex é um personagem muito da hora, muito foda, porque a forma que ele se desenvolve ao longo da história, principalmente ao longo dos 3 Mass Effect, sensacional. E como já colocaram, né, ele desconstrói o Proud Warrior Race, sabe? Aquela raça de nós somos guerreiros, nós somos fodas e tal, desconstrói essa imagem.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
É triste o destino dos Krogan. A gente vai ver mais pra frente, ao longo da história, o que aconteceu com eles mesmo. Mas é uma história bem intensa.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Ah, e aqui tem um meme do Mass Effect.
Shepard.
Rex.
Shepard.
Rex.
Shepard. Rex. Shepard. Rex.
Shepard. Rex.
Você pode ficar o dia inteiro fazendo isso. Melhor é o ponto alto do jogo. Pronto, já posso encerrar a série agora, né? Eu zerei o Mass Effect.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
Ai, que massa. Sempre bom eu poder estar ajudando alguém, assim, além do próprio trabalho.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
Repara em duas coisas. Primeiro, eu acho que nesse discurso ela falou pela primeira vez que os Quarians têm um sistema imunológico mais fraco do que o resto das espécies, porque eles passam muito tempo dentro das naves, que são ambientes controlados. E segundo, reparou que a gente tá com uma adolescente na equipe praticamente. Ela tá no seu rito de passagem, tipo a puberdade dela. Engraçado isso, né?
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say.
It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. 1 million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
What did you do?
It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
I didn't mean to offend you.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get so worked up. Most Quarians tend to have pretty strong opinions about the Geth.
Ó, esse ponto do conflito entre os Quarian e os Geth é um dos momentos onde esse jogo brilha nas discussões éticas e políticas. Essa minha opinião tá um pouco enviesada por eu já ter terminado a série Mass Effect, né? Mas tenta pensar um pouco. Essa é uma lógica completamente orgânica, né? Digamos humana, mas no caso é dos Quarians. Nós, se estivéssemos no lugar deles, faríamos tudo isso. Nós íamos exterminar todos os orgânicos porque nós não temos uso para eles. Será que os Geth, na verdade, não matam todo mundo que tenta se aproximar? Justamente porque todos os orgânicos que eles conheceram tentaram matar eles? Será que eles iam mesmo ter feito uma revolução se os Quarian não tivessem feito nada? Vai pensando nisso, que ao longo da história, ao longo da série, essa questão vai ser explicada.
I should go.
See you later.
Então tá aqui. Espero que não tenha ficado muito longo com essa parte de conversar com os membros da party. Mas eu vou fazer isso de tempos em tempos, porque é interessante se atualizar nas opiniões deles. Tem quests de cada um. Então é bom fazer tudinho. Se vocês gostaram, deixem aqui seu apoio, deem seu like, deem seu favorito. Inscrevam-se no canal se estão conhecendo agora. E não mais, valeu, falou!